this one you need your concept map template, and I'm going to use 2 colors, but actually let's use red or orange, I don't know what that is. Okay, last unit we just did was division and equations. We just finished that one. Now we're going to look at fractions, decimals, and percentages. Okay, if you're actually watching this video, I want you to put a star right here. So if you're watching the video, put a star right here. Do a really, really small one. Alright, the next unit is going to be called using data. Okay? So we're actually going to start with our questions this time. We have 3 big questions from this unit. First one, what is a fraction? And how is it used? So the basic one, what is it and how do we use it? Second one, how do fractions, decimals, and percentages compare? Basically, how are they similar and how are they different? And the last one, number 3, we're going to look how are they used outside of math class and homework. This is one of my favorite lessons because in your everyday life you will use fractions, decimals, and percentages. So if you didn't get those questions, there they are. Alright, so let's look at our concept map. As there's no surprise, our big idea is fractions. Okay? So, there's 2 questions we're going to have to look at first. We're going to put them to the left and to the right. So the first question is, you can probably guess it, what is it? Okay, so based on fractions, what is it? And this one you might not be able to guess. What are the parts? We're going to learn the parts now in 5th grade so that when you get in 8th grade, you're not going to be like, wait, what are they? Alright, so first thing we're going to look at is we need to understand something that's going to be called unit fractions. Okay? So we're going to look at unit fractions, and we're going to learn that this is used for 2 things, at least for this unit. Dividing into groups. And we're going to look at a cool thing about finding area. And maybe we'll look at population too. Alright, so we're going to learn unit fractions and what they're used for. Next thing we're going to look at is we're going to compare fractions. We're going to compare two types of fractions. First, we're going to compare equivalent fractions. So one way of comparing is to look at which ones are equivalent. And another way we're going to do is ordering by magnitude. And that just means in order from smallest to biggest, biggest to smallest, which one's bigger. So comparing by magnitude. And the last section over here, we're going to take fractions, convert to decimals. So the first thing we're going to do is fractions to decimals, which you should already know how to. Then to percentages. If you're watching this right now, put another little star right here. So put a star right here if you're watching. All right. And once we have percentages, we can use that for a lot of things. But one thing we're going to look at can be used for, in this unit, we're going to use circle graphs mainly. I'm just going to put a little note here and others. Okay? So we can fractions, we convert them to decimals, percentages, and then use them for circle graphs. All right, so key vocabulary we need to look at. Based on all of this, first, fraction. We're going to look at numerator, denominator. Then we're going to look at unit. What does that mean? Area, which most of you already know. We're going to look at, a good word is magnitude. It's a common word in math. Then we're going to have the basics, decimal, percentage or percent, circle graph. We're also going to look at a bar graph later on. That's it. And if you're watching this, put another little star right here. Okay, so put a star right here if you're watching this. All right, and then what's the point? Again, like I said, this is one of my favorite units. We use fractions, decimals, and percentages all the time. Okay? We use fractions all the time, dividing cakes into half, simple fractions as half, maybe a little more complex, decimals with money, with everything, percentages when there's a discount on something, and just for fun, if you're watching this, put another star right here. Put your final star right here. So you're drawing a star right here. Thank you. Less than 10 minutes, you're welcome.